Welcome to your chemistry class. The chapter that we will study today is the language of chemistry. In this language of chemistry, the first topic for us is symbols. What are symbols? The simplified, abbreviated names of the elements are called as symbols. Correct? I repeat, the simplified, abbreviated names of the elements are called symbols. About this, I had already taught you in the class. I had asked you all to write the valencies and symbols in your register. I hope you all have made use of these days to learn them well. If not, still you have time. Master over them. It will be fruitful for you later. The next topic that we begin is valency. Okay? After symbol comes valency. Now what are valencies? Valency is a combining capacity. So I'm writing over here, try to understand. Valency is a combining capacity. Correct? It is equal to the number of electrons lost, gained or shared during a chemical reaction. I repeat the definition of valency. Valency is a combining capacity. First, very important. Valency is a combining capacity. Second point about it, it is equal to the number of electrons lost, gained or shared during a chemical reaction. Now understand each and every word that I used over here in this definition of a valency. Let me explain this by giving you certain examples. Like I'm going to take certain atomic numbers. For example, atomic numbers that I'm going to use over here will be 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Then let me come over here. 9, 10, 11, 12 and 17. I think these many are enough to make you explain each and every word that I used over here to define a valency. So to define this valency, firstly I have taken different atomic numbers. Now what am I going to do? We will configure each of these atomic numbers. So let's begin. I hope you have learned how to do the configuration. So here it will be 2. Here it will be 2, 2. What about 6? 2 and 4. What about 7? 2 and 5. What about 8? 2 and 6. What about 9? 2 and 7. What about 10? 2, 8, 11, 2, 8, 1, 12, 2, 8, 2, 17, 2, 8, 7. So we have configured this, correct? Now what? Now we are going to find out which of these elements they are stable. First let us find out which of these elements are stable. Now do you remember the rule for the stability of these elements? What was that rule? Duplet or the octet rule. Do you remember that? Can you see this that I have written over here? Which rule have we to follow over here? Duplet or the octet rule. What does duplet rule mean? That in the first shell there should be 2 electrons. Let's check. All the first shells, they have 2 electrons. That means they follow the duplet rule. So cancel this out. Now let's talk about what is an octet rule. What do we mean by octet rule? That the last shell, that is the valence shell, should have 8 electrons. Correct? If the valence shell has 8 electrons, that means that particular element is stable. So now firstly duplet. So this had 2 electrons. It does not have any other. That means this is stable. So I'm writing down over here. It is stable. Let's check this. Does it have? It has 2, but it doesn't have 8 over here. Unstable. So I'm just writing over here. Unstable. 2, 4. Again unstable. 2, 6. Unstable. 2, 5. Sorry. 2, 6. Unstable. What about this? This is also unstable. 2, 8. 2. Duplet rule. Octet rule 8. That means this is stable. This is stable. Again 2, 8, 1. Outermost shell does not have 8 electrons. Then this becomes unstable. This is again unstable and unstable. So coming back to the first statement, valency is a combining capacity. Now look over here. All those who are stable, they do not have a combining capacity. This does not have a combining capacity. Correct? If they do not have a combining capacity, they have no valency. Hence, their valency is, I am writing over here, valency. The valency will be 0. Do you know the elements whose valency is 0, what are they called as? They are termed as inert gases. So this is inert gas and this is also your inert gas. I hope till here it's clear. We are going to figure out which element are these later on. First we understand each and every line about valency and how to find out these valencies. So the first point we have understood over here, valency is a combining capacity. Now let's come to all those which are unstable. That means they have a combining capacity. So let's proceed further with them. It is equal to, valency is equal to number of electrons lost, gained or shared during a chemical reaction. So let's see this now. Now to become stable, what it will do? It should either follow the duplet rule or it should follow the octet rule. So to follow the octet rule, it has to take 6 electrons. Correct? Which is too much for it. It is better to give away 2 rather than take 6. Fine? So if this particular element, if it gives away 2 electrons, now see here, protons are how many? 4. Therefore, electron is also 4. Right? Now, during a chemical reaction, what happens? To become stable, it gives away 2 electrons. How many electrons are left now? 2. Correct? Now check. What is more? Protons are more than electrons. How many more? 2 more. Right? Therefore, the valency will be 2. Now, proton is positively charged. So, it becomes plus 2. Got this? Then next, we come to atomic number 6. It has 4 valence electrons. Now what? Either it gives 4 or it takes 4. It means the same. So over here, we write plus minus 4. We can't say it is plus, we can't say it is minus because here sharing will take place. Either give or take. It means the same amount of energy is required both the ways. So here, instead of giving and taking, it is going to show sharing. So this word came over here, shared. Over here, lost. Got it? Now let's come to 2, 5. That is atomic number 7. So to become stable, what it has to do? 5. That is 6, 7, 8. Either take 3 electrons or give away 5. What is easy? To take 3 electrons. Now let us check over here. Protons are 7. Electrons are 7. To become stable, it has to take 3 electrons. What is more? Electrons become more. Right? How many more? 3. So valency is 3. Protons are more or electrons are more? Electrons are more. Electron means negatively charged. They become negatively charged. This becomes its valency. Now talking about 2, 6. Protons are how many? 8. Electrons are how many? 8. How many electrons does it require to become stable? 2. So we write 2. Correct? Now what is more? Electrons are more. How many more? 2 more. What is the valency? -2. Are you trying to understand? These are the valencies. Next, come over here. 2, 8, 1. Look here. Protons are 11. Electrons are 11. Now here, is it going to accept 7 or is it going to give away 1? It's going to give away 1. What is more now? Protons or electrons? Protons, definitely. How many more? 1. So plus 1. What about this? Plus 2. What about this? It needs 1. It needs 1 electron. So electrons will be more. -1. So did you understand? Valency is a combining capacity. All this you got because of the combining capacity of these elements. It is equal to the number of electrons lost over here, or gained. Here it has gained, or shared. Over here it has shared during a chemical reaction. Did you get that? Now let's see another point. As I have already told you, all those which are stable, they are inert gases. All those with plus sign, that is, all those who are losing electron, they are metals. So all plus ones, they are metals. Okay. Then here it is a metal. Here it is a metal. Fine. All the electronegative ions, what are they? They are non-metals. This is a non-metal, this is a non-metal, and this is also a non-metal. What is left? Plus minus. Where sharing takes place, these elements, they are metalloids. So as you all know, elements are of 4 types: metals, non-metals, metalloids, and inert gases. Inert gases, they are stable. Oh, sorry, I did not do this one. This is -1. So this is also your non-metal. Clear? Thus, what did we see here? Metals are of 4 types. The stable compound elements, they do not have a combining capacity. So they do not have the tendency to lose, gain, and therefore no valency for them. All others which are unstable, they have a combining capacity. Now they have to become stable and reach to the nearest inert gas configuration. Now look here. When it loses 2 electrons, it has reached to the nearest inert gas configuration. Okay. Over here, check. If it accepts 2 electrons, then it reaches to the nearest noble gas configuration. So all these elements which are unstable, they either lose, gain, or share their electrons to become nearest inert gas configuration and become stable. Now coming to these metals which are positive ions, they are all called as cations. Positive ions, what are they? They are cations, right? All the negative ions, these are called as anions, right? Now, something more to be told about anions and cations. Let me explain it to you over here. Cations, they are positively charged. Okay. Anions, they are negatively charged. First point. Cations, they are all metals. Anions, they are all non-metals. Right? Cations, how are they becoming positively charged? By losing electrons. That means they get oxidized. Okay. And here they were accepting electrons. So here they were getting reduced. So anions, they get reduced. Cations, they get oxidized. And cations, since they get oxidized, they are good reducing agents. And anions which get reduced, they are good oxidizing agents. I hope everything is clear about valency. I hope everything is clear about valency. Okay, we next move to the next topic, that is variable valency. We move to the next topic, that is variable valency. Now, what is a variable valency? Certain elements, they exhibit more than one valency by losing electrons that are present in the penultimate shell. Such valency is termed as variable valency, right? So this also I had explained you in the class. Lower valency, they are us. Higher valency, they are ik. Let's take few examples like plumbous. What is the valency of plumbous? +2. Plumbic, +4. Correct? Let's take another example. Cuprous, +1. Cupric, +2. Take another example. Mercurous, +1. Mercuric, +2. So such elements which form an ion, they have more than one valency. See here, plumbous, plumbic, lead has two valencies, 2 and 4. The lower one is us, the higher one is ik. Lower one is us and the higher one is ik. I hope this is clear to all. Next we move to chemical formula. Next we move to chemical formula. Now, what is a chemical formula? It is defined as the symbolic representation of a molecule of an element or a compound, right? It gives the exact number of atoms that are present in the molecule of an element. The method of writing this formula is by criss-cross method. You all must have learned this in class 8th also. Criss-cross method, right? So here I am going to give you certain examples to make you understand how do we write the chemical formula. But mind you children, you cannot do this till you do not learn your valencies and symbols by heart. So you have to do that. That is very important if you really want to enjoy studying chemistry, right? So I'm going to take up certain examples over here for you. Let's talk about sodium chloride. Okay, first we write down their symbols, sodium and chloride. Sodium valency is +1, this is -1. The valencies, they are written at the superscript. Then what? We copy down these symbols and crisscross it. Crisscross it where? To the subscript. To the subscript, right? Without carrying the sign. Without carrying the sign. Now one has no meaning. Hence, the formula of sodium chloride becomes NaCl. Let's take another example. Aluminium nitride. Okay. Now, aluminium is Al. What is its valency? 3+. Nitride, N, valency 3-. Copy it down. Crisscross it without bringing the signs. 3 here, 3 here. Now 3 has a meaning, but because both have 3, they can be cancelled, and hence your formula becomes, chemical formula of aluminium nitride becomes AlN. Right? Let's talk about magnesium chloride. Another example. I'm going to give you several examples of different kinds. So try to understand this. It's very important. Magnesium. What is the valency? 2+. chloride Cl minus 1. Write down your elements. Now crisscross, 1 comes here, 2 comes here. 1 has no meaning, 2 has meaning, but we cannot cancel out. So what is the formula that it becomes? MgCl2. Magnesium chloride formula is MgCl2. Another example, magnesium nitride. Magnesium Mg2 plus, nitride 3 minus. Mgn, crisscross, 3 comes to the subscript, 2 comes to the subscript. Can we do anything about them? No. So the formula becomes Mg3n2. So the chemical formula for magnesium nitride will be Mg3n2. Got it? Some more examples. Now calcium sulfate, where now I'm going to use certain radicals. Okay, calcium Ca2 plus, sulfate SO4 2 minus. Right? What do we do next? CaSO4. Now whenever you get a radical which has 2 or more elements present in it, always place it in a bracket. And now once you place it inside a bracket, you are not supposed to cancel out this number at any cost. This will not be touched now. Fine. So now what I do? 2 crisscross, 2 is brought here, 2 is brought here. This 2 and this 2 gets cancelled because I cannot touch anything inside the bracket. Any number inside the bracket should not be cancelled out at any cost. So now this 2 and this 2 is cancelled. So what is your formula for calcium sulfate now? CaSO4. Let's talk about manganese dioxide. Okay, manganese Mn plus 4, oxide O2 minus. What do we do? Copy down, crisscross, 2 here, 4 here, right? What can I do? It can be cancelled. 2, 1, 2. 1 has no meaning, so MnO2. Manganese di means 2, dioxide, 2 oxide, 2 oxygen atoms present here. That makes it dioxide. So this is the formula. MnO2 is the formula for manganese dioxide. Then ammonium chloride. Ammonium NH4 plus 1, chloride minus 1. What do we do? NH4. This, what did I tell you? If there are 2 or more, we put them in a bracket. Now I cannot touch any number which is inside. Now crisscross, 1 here, 1 here. 1 has no meaning. What is your formula? NH4Cl. So the formula for ammonium chloride is NH4Cl. And the last one, ammonium sulfate. Okay, check out the last example now. Ammonium NH4 plus 1, sulfate SO4 2 minus. So what am I going to do? NH4 I copy down, SO4 I copy down. Now both are radicals of kind which have more than 2 elements. So I put a bracket for both. Now what did I tell you? No number has to be cancelled out which is inside the bracket. Don't touch that. You must be thinking 4 is here, 4 is here, so I will cancel it out. No. Don't do that mistake. Now what? Crisscross the valencies. 2 comes here, 1 comes here. 1 has no meaning, but 2 has the meaning. But don't cancel this. As I said, nothing to be cancelled which is inside the bracket. And hence, your formula becomes NH4 whole twice SO4. I hope you understood today. Whatever I taught you, that's all for Today I will be sending some assignments which you will be doing it in your registers. For this, you will have to check the assignment folder. The assignment will be sent in a separate folder and this video will be in a separate folder. Thank you.